right, well, welcome to episode 5 of, I don't know the title of this yet, because we're filming episode 5 first, and maybe in episode 1 we can decide on the title, which we'll film after this. We have a very crazy schedule. Scott's got to go to a lunch meeting. John and I have to fly to Florida. Madalena has stuff to, actually, you have maybe the most crazy schedule of trying to find a location, scheduling our actors for a commercial, and another creative piece. Yeah. So we got a lot to do, but we're going to talk about some interesting stuff today. So again, this is episode 5. We're talking about partnership versus the client-vendor relationship, and what that means. So we've got Scott Feil over here, our director of business. You come from a big business background. Tell me a little bit about that. What's your business background?
Sure, probably starts Creighton University, undergrad degree in business administration, and then a couple of years of real live experience in lending, per my professor's suggestion, to get some real world experience before grad school. And then grad school. Was
grad school necessary, or something you wanted to do because you just love punishment and schooling?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was both. It was paying for something that was really a lot of work. You know how the difference in high school to college, weeded out the underachieving D students. There's another level when you go into grad school.
And you didn't get weeded out.
I did not get weeded out.
You made it.
Nor did I get straight A's, just to be clear.
Yeah, well, nobody's perfect. Right, Madalena? It's more fun if you participate in the joke. Otherwise, it looks like I'm bullying you.
So, yeah, it was formative to learn the general areas of business with the MBA.
Yeah, so there's a lot of finance and business in that.
Yes, I actually specialize in finance, portion of that. So, yeah.
So then, how does that bring you to here to Backflip, being our director of business?
Sure. I had a great career as a stock analyst, analyzing business models for publicly traded securities. And then after that...
That sounds like a thing a really old person would say, like, just somebody who's gray-haired and can't get up from their chair. Like, I had a really good life as a stock analyst. Like, so...
Back in the roaring 20s.
I know.
It was really something.
So you had a good time doing that and wanted to change, or...?
I did. My most proud moment as an American, I'm in the World Trade Center that got destroyed by 9/11, of course. But I was in my 20s in a meeting with CEOs and other analysts there on my own as the sole representative from the company I was working for then. And I just glanced out the window. I don't know what floor we were on, 50th or something. And there beneath me was the Statue of Liberty, just shining a beacon of hope on the horizon. It was so beautiful. I just, tear in my eye, I guess. It was a special moment.
Okay. So that was your proud moment, your shining moment. And then, where'd you go from there? How'd you eventually come here?
Yeah. And then after analyzing businesses, I wanted to help run them. And so I had this great opportunity to run a seed company as a number 2 guy for this company that had some issues and some things that were going really well. That involved a lot of travel and a lot of the depth and how hard it is to run a small business, medium-sized business, became apparent to me in a whole different way from analyzing a business type of thing. So
then from there, you decided that you wanted to make movies. Or is that not it? What happened? I mean, I know the story because you called me.
Right. So I started Revitalogic, a consulting business, and reached out to acquaintances like you and listed out 6 or 7 things that I thought I could do.
By the way, I think it was like 10 or 12.
You're kind. You had the best answer though of any client that I've had. You're like, very quickly, we'll take all of that. Yeah. And I think I interviewed like the next day and started at 50% time and very quickly went up to 100%.
Yep.
3 years ago. And a partner along the way as well.
Yeah. For putting in that extra time.
That's right.
Yeah, because I was doing a lot of that stuff before, and not very well. We were definitely still around and afloat, but that's some of the fun stuff that you might have missed when we were smaller, where I had to get things in the mail and be like, I don't know what the heck this is. I'll just set it under a pile for a little while, which is really unique. So you came on and took care of a lot of that. So maybe let's get to our topic here: partnership versus the vendor-client relationship. Is this a new concept for you, or is this something that you've been doing all along, or just give me kind of your initial thoughts on that approach?
Yeah, this is a very new concept that's just been building as I've had more time here and seen what works best for all of us, including the client. Transactional business and one-off projects are truly fine. They're fine. I mean, when you think back to if you're married, maybe meeting your spouse could have been considered a one-time transaction or a partnership. You don't know.
Oh, dear goodness.
You don't know at
Hopefully
first.
the latter.
And so I saw with the different types of relationships that we have, the ones that seem to work the best, were more natural, were those what I consider to be partnership type, without the equity exchanges and that sort of thing, but just it's more of a mindset, a mentality of partnership. A part of that is being honest with each other, even about constructive things, about when you might need a check as a small business. To be helpful and just to be transparent with that.
Right, especially because of those highs and lows. And I think any business out there can recognize that because they've experienced that, where you have these projects or these big clients and you have a high and you may expand to meet that need, and then if that goes away or it changes, hopefully it just changes to something else, well then you're coming down here, and how do you handle that? And that's all small businesses, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs, there's kind of this fakey attitude where when somebody asks, hey, how's it going? How's business going? And I'm like, oh, it's really, really great. But really my honest answer is like, it's hard, but it's worthwhile, and I'm going to keep doing it for the near future. We always reassess those types of things. I want to throw it over to Madalena. Tell me a little bit about your previous work before you came to us, and maybe a little bit about that partnership versus client vendor. Did you work with were you a partner to people you worked with, or the clients you work with, or was it more of that client vendor, give me this thing, that's it, done, see ya? Yeah,
it was more of that capitalistic kind of exchange. So when I was in Chicago, I worked at a post-production house, but I was in like the production side, this little production nick, and it was called Dictionary Films. But an executive producer, she's pretty badass. But that's how the exchange was. She was just very blunt and very like, this needs to happen for this or whatever. So it wasn't like, I don't know. It wasn't as much of a friendly sort of exchange, like a friendship, a partnership. It was more of like just we need something to happen. So yeah. Let's make it happen.
What did you like that? Did you not like that?
I did, because there's this quick pace about it and just a businessy side to it. And I'm
Devils Wear Prada?
It was kind of like that. And but like she knew what she was doing, and I think it was just she didn't like beat around the bush, and I like that. And yeah, I mean, yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're touching on something that's really interesting. Yeah. That honesty, that maybe came out in bluntness because, I don't know this person or this company or any of these, but maybe because there wasn't a ton of care to any particular client. There was attention paid to detail in the job and the contract. Yeah. But maybe not to the client.
Right, and there was definitely care to the client. We'd definitely smooge and take them out to dinners when they were in town, or get the Uber XLs or whatever. But again, it was just...
Wait a second. Like XL Uber?
Yes.
That's next level stuff.
Yeah, just to go from the airport to the hotel, or from the hotel to this wherever the set was.
We're talking small SUV to luxury.
Yeah, we would always do luxury. So she knew how to impress as well, but there's definitely less, so it was less impressed to be friendly. It was impressed to show that we were badass. And it was just yeah, we know what we're doing sort of thing. we don't play around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I think we see that too in bigger business and maybe more in investment or Wall Street, where it's very flashy and very transactional based and not relationship based at all, at least what movies tell me about Wall Street, Is that true at all, or is that just movies?
Movies definitely glorify that aspect, boiler room type transactional.
Great movie.
ABCs always be closing. But financial planners, it's a extremely relational business. So they know the names of your kids and go golfing with you, play tennis with you, and those sorts of things.
Okay.
So
so it seems like those people who actually interact with people know that relationships are important, which I think we've discovered, and it's why we take this approach of partnership versus, I guess we say I'll say eyes, partnership versus price, right? Because I think that's something that happened, that we figured out that our good clients and our best projects were those clients that would really partner with us, that we could work together on creative and a campaign and all those aspects, and then from there determine a price and work within a budget. Everyone always has a budget, but no one wants to say their budget. We always want more budget and they want less budget, and that's just always going to be the push and pull. But if we can partner on it, then our goal, instead of our numbers, are going to then be whatever the media goals are, whether it's to have so many views or to get traffic into a location, or A, B, C, or D, whatever those actual goals are, we can join on that. We can align on the back end. Then we can align on price. We can align on everything else. And I think we found that works better.
It's very collaborative. It's not just a tagline. Let's build something awesome. The let's is together with the client, in partnership with the client. That's when the creatives can shine the most, and they help us. The clients have good ideas too, and we need to
surprise. No? But I think with that too, the clients having good ideas, that's where the relationship really works, because they know their target better than we do, but we have often a better idea on how to communicate to them, so we can take that seed of an idea that they have and really help that to blossom. To give you a visual there.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Are we going to animate that?
Oh my gosh.
Some sort of...
That's what I used to do on the other podcast to make Jeff have to animate stuff. I'd be like, and here's this thing, and then he would have to track it. So that was fun. And he did, because Jeff is awesome. But I guess, Madalena, you're editing this. So Madalena's awesome.
I don't think I can do that stuff
You're
anymore.
doing a great job, Jeff.
Yeah, you'll just sneak into his room. So let's just dive in a little bit more specifically into partnership versus relationship. I see you have this sheet here. What are kind of some of those main components of a partnership versus the client-vendor relationship? And you talked a little bit about honesty.
Sure. It's more fun. It's more fun to collaborate with a partner. You have more shared experiences. You develop friendships. Those things take time. A lot of business, tries and pays lip service to becoming friends and doing this and doing that and sending this and sending that. But we're all people, and true friendships, when you think back, they take time and some great experiences. This normally is the best work experience that a client is going to have throughout the year. I've seen that over and over again with you guys.
We've heard that a lot. Yeah. Like coming in for an edit or a creative session, or, a film day, like we've heard that time and time again, that it's a great experience. And that's always encouraging, because aside from doing good work, we want to be good people and we want to be a good company. And so an experience with us should be good. It should show that values, because we have heard from bigger companies in town, from guys who've worked on these sets, that they bring in a director from somewhere and his job is just to yell. He costs a lot every day and his job is to yell, because that's what you pay for. But really, we want to foster an environment on set.
We yell for free.
We yell for free. We yell when you're not around. Wait, that sounds worse.
Edit that, Jeff.
Yeah. She's like,
Wait,
I don't.
what?
Right now, you're editing, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Live edit.
Live
Can we do
edit.
that?
So we want to foster that experience where You come in, you have a creative meeting, or you have a pitch meeting, or we have a pitch meeting with you, or you have an edit, or it's a shoot day, and we want you to come away saying that was the best day of the week, or I want to do another project because that's so much fun. Because for us, it is fun. Marketing is this artistic expression that eventually serves a business goal, because we're not just artists for artist's sake, or we'd be sitting on a corner trying to edit video, but it's part of our lives, part of our careers, part of our families, part of our goals in life, and so we don't want it to suck either. So I think it's being more personal, and that's something John has always said, because people will say separate business and personal, or keep your personal and business life separate, but business is so personal to us.
Yeah.
Certainly personal drama should stay aside. I don't know. I wasn't looking at you particularly. Personal drama should stay aside, but you have to be personal in business. You have to be able to have that relationship. So we try to do that, and I think we've heard that it works pretty well, and we'll continue to make that an awesome experience for people.
Right. And there's some advantages too to the partnership mindset. Like we'll develop deeper insights and can try different things.
That's true
over
yeah.
time.
Right.
And we think, and we usually have a really good idea what will work very well. Mm-hmm. Do we start with the best idea? Not always. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it takes more time to get into that, to have a variety of projects and to really press into that. And sometimes it's a trust thing too on the client side, what they're willing to.
Right. And that's tough.
Yeah. They have to talk to boards or bosses or et cetera. So
yeah.
And just having high empathy for where they're at and what they need from us as well. And it's a process. It's a partnership.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So Madalena, in your previous role compared to this role, how have you seen kind of this partnership model be fruitful, be useful, in a different way, right? Because we still get people who contact us for a one-off project, and here's the details, do it, and we're excited to be able to work with new people on new projects. We love that. But it's these relationships that we create. What the heck? It's the dumbest fly ever. It's these relationships. Sorry, this will suck for the people who are listening to it as a podcast. Like, what's going on? I forget we have to, there's a fly that wouldn't move. It's very important to talk about.
He wanted to partner with you.
Yeah. That's a whole different thing. I've seen that movie before. After this whole series, by the way, we got to get like a supercut of Madalena rolling her eyes at us, because I feel like that'll be a common occurrence.
Probably.
Yeah. So that versus here, what's talk a little bit about that. What do you like about that type of environment and interaction?
Well, like definitely here, like the partnership is like, it's not just with you or like the owners, it's with everyone. Whereas in Chicago, the partnership, if there was that partnership, and if it did occur, is really with the executive producer and not even the producers. I mean, maybe with the producers, but the crew and everyone, like there was nothing like friendly going on between clients and then whoever's on the project. It was just with the executive producer. So there wasn't that trickle down effect of everyone being affected by the partnership. So I think that's probably one of the bigger differences.
Does that empower you then? Because you're often not the executive producer, or you're not the executive producer yet.
Yeah.
It's usually one of us. Do you feel empowered that you can talk directly to a client or bring ideas?
I mean, I do feel, but like I think because of my previous experience, I like a lot of times I wait till I hear back from you or even Scott, John, if I can reach out to the clients. And you guys are like, yes, like things need to happen, just do it. And so like whereas back at in Chicago, it was always like either the executive producer or like the big shot producer out of all the producers on the project who would be the point person and to like talk. Because like if I sent an email to a client, they would be like, who is this person?
Yeah,
or
right.
like, does she know what she's talking about? So I think that's the big difference, and I do appreciate it. I just need to be able to execute that kind of power.
Yeah, just to get more comfortable with it. And that, I think it's a back and forth, and certainly not at all, we don't want to be judging or poo-pooing anybody else's methodology, down in Chicago or whatever. That's not what I'm trying to do here. Just looking at differences and kind of how we've found works really well. Because I do think, separation of role and communication has been something that we had to do.
Right.
Early on, everybody talked to everybody,
Right.
and things got out of sync and out of
Right.
hand. So we kind of honed it in and said, okay, you're the point person over there. I'm the point person over here. But then, because we wear many hats, our executive producers are also our creatives, are also sometimes our shooters on smaller projects. So then we need somebody else to produce.
Yeah.
So it's only practical in that sense for us that we have, one person's the main contact, you're probably the secondary contact, or sometimes even the main contact over the executive producer. But even me, as an executive producer on a project, we'll be checking in, I'll be checking in with the client, so I feel like it's a combination of both. We're not just this anarchistic, everybody do whatever you want. I mean, we are in Madison, but we're not in Madison that much. So see, that's the second eye roll. But what I mean by that is we're not just so hippie to be hippie, hippie dippy.
Well, I just think it comes with it's just a natural thing that comes with size of a company. So there has to be some sort of structure with 70 plus people.
In time
6.
here, I think you've been here about 4 months or so.
Yeah.
And so everybody's new initially, and then you get to know them and, as people and become a part of the partnership type relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we talked about it. There's honesty. Oops, don't hit the mic. Honesty in a partnership that can be different because you communicate more. Certainly we're honest with all of our relationships, and that's a core value that we have. But honesty can come out more, when you're actually talking more, right? Like something that you might not have even knew or understood was a concern about a shoot or something can come out because you're talking, because you're a partner. Fun, it's better on both sides than just being a transactional thing, and with that, we can create better art because when you're having fun, when you've thought about it, when you've really done your pre-production and creative, that's the kind of energy that we need on a set to make something really great. Then you have more creative, so that kind of flows from the same thing. And then next up, it looks like you have urgency. What is that? Urgency. It sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah. No, there's many a shoot that comes up all of a sudden to react to an event.
Like we're leaving for Florida in 4 hours.
Exactly. Hurricane Irma came up.
Maria.
Now it's Maria.
Oh.
Irma, we're still dealing with the aftermath. Yeah.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I could set this up as a boxing ring too if you guys want. Right after. It's 3. So you have deeper insights and there's nothing on your paper. I'm really interested to hear what that is. Deeper insights.
That's real deep. But then it says lit.
Oddly enough,
it's lit. Deeper insights. You get lit.
It means what it sounds like the longer in relationship with companies and people within the companies, the deeper the insights, the more you can try, and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
The more creative you can be,
Yeah.
and the better it all is.
And actually, so an example of that will be in episode 4, the episode right before this, which I think we'll film a little later. Authenticity and branding. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the work we've done with Carbon 4, where we've been working with them for so many years now. I'll have to figure out how long that is. That we just understand them and we understand their brand on a level that it's tough with a new client. You got to work with somebody for a while and live with them, be a partner with them for a while.
Exactly.
And we came out with Champagne Tortoise, which is the crazy, some of the craziest branding, and people love it. It was a chance. It was a crazy, but knowing who they were, being authentic to their voice, and having those deeper insights.
And you rapped with them for an afternoon for a long meeting, back and forth with ideas and stuff.
It was a 1-hour meeting that turned into a 4-hour meeting.
Super fun and super productive.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. It was more creative, more fun. You know, urgency was there. Had to get it done, and we had those deeper insights.
The other thing that I've seen that I think is really important is mission match. What I mean by that is I've seen you guys really glum onto, you're not just creative, you're enthusiasts, and that's common with creatives. And it's great. That makes it fun, and it gets people really excited to, we really get excited to glum onto the company's culture, their mission, what they're trying to accomplish. We do our best work when it's helping people, when the company that we're working for is doing something that we believe in. And we believe in a lot because we're enthusiasts and want to help people and those sorts of things. And they can see that, they can sense that, and it comes through in the work.
Yeah, and I think we found this happened actually pretty recently with all the hurricanes and the relief work, thinking about, how can we work with a company to, support the mission that they're doing. And Madalena actually came up with a couple ideas that we talked to a few people about. And so we put a lot of work into that because Madalena had a really great idea on how it could be, beneficial for the company, beneficial for those who need aid, just to tell those stories.
Sadly,
so that people can
those
connect
companies were just
yeah. I mean, it was reaching out to people we hadn't worked with before, and lo and behold, a client who we work with a lot, it was a great match for them, and they actually approached us amidst us working on this campaign to go down to Florida and film some stuff, which is what we're leaving for pretty soon. And it's I don't know, I thought it was very vindicating. Like, that was a great idea. At the time I thought it was a great idea, but then to have somebody ask us to do that, it confirms, our creative and our desires are a match for the mission of our clients, and they just came up separately, not even trying to do something for a client. So I thought that was really cool. So good job. So I think that about sums it up. We have those 5 things, right? So, greater honesty, because we're able to talk more. It's more fun because we're able to live life with each other and experience these things together. We can be more creative because there's more time, Urgency. I was going to say something, but then not. Urgency. We can react a lot quicker. We know something's coming up. We are able to do that. Deeper insights. I think that's one of the big ones with a partnership. We can really understand who you are after we've worked with you a few times. And then we can react, right? We can make it, pivot and make something better than it was last time and not just always be stagnant.
Push the boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. And mission match. Mission match. Say that 3 times fast.
Mission match.
Yeah, that's how it sounded in my head.
Exactly.
Cool. Great. So that's it for the partnership versus vendor client episode 5. Tune in next week. We'll have another episode. We'll post on the blog what that is. I don't know what it is now. I don't have the calendar up, but I'm sure it's going to be really, really good. Thank you so much, Scott, for coming and talking to us about this. It was a real pleasure. It was very formal. It's like
Thanks,
we don't
Scott.
sit in an office
Boom.
together. There you go. All right. Tune in next week.